What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video right here at Chris's MMA Universe. I just want to talk really quick about UFC 253, a possible headline of Israel Adesanya versus Paulo Costa for the UFC middleweight strap. Now, this is not official for it to be the headline. I know they were talking about Justin Gaethje versus Khabib Nurmagomedov. It's just they don't know what's really going to happen with that, seeing as how the tragic news that happened with Khabib's father. So there's really no telling 100% whether or not this is going to be the headline or the co-main event. But either way, it is set to go down September 19th at UFC 253, whether it's the co-main or main. So this fight is happening finally with, a whole bunch of back and forth news where Dana White didn't want to make it official for whatever the reason was. But this fight is happening now. So for this fight right here, now, hands down, I'm just going to go ahead and say Israel Adesanya is going to win this fight. The reason why I say that is Paulo Costa is like brute strength against technical precision with Israel Adesanya. So we're talking Israel Adesanya being very, very technical, very, very sharp against Paulo Costa, which is just like a juggernaut of just brute strength, right? Now, both men are undefeated in the UFC. I mean, both men are going into this, someone's losing their O. I see it being Paulo Costa. I do believe that Israel Adesanya is a kryptonite for Paulo Costa's style, because if Paulo Costa goes in there, really where you'll see Paulo Costa shine is when he has you up against the cage. That's when he actually hits you with significant strikes, with shots and power shots that actually can drop and just crush his opponent. So that is where you'll see Paulo Costa shine. When he's in the center of the octagon, when he's out in the open, he's very, very vulnerable. And I see him very, very, very vulnerable. I see him being very vulnerable against Israel Adesanya, especially. Israel Adesanya is very, very fast. He's very technical. He's very sharp. I do believe Israel Adesanya is just too good right now. He's too good. I don't see him losing that belt whatsoever, especially to Paulo Costa. I do believe he is the kryptonite, like I said, against Paulo Costa. If Paulo Costa rushes in, which he likes to do when he rushes in to his opponent, charges in, he will get caught by Adesanya's shots. I do not see Paulo Costa being able to just go in there and, just eat Israel Adesanya's shots and nothing happened to him. Where you'll actually see where, Uriah Hall actually fought Paulo Costa and actually dropped him with a straight. And we're looking at Israel Adesanya, which is a much better, it's kind of like a Uriah Hall 2.0, right? Looking at this fight, I know you guys are probably thinking the same thing, that Israel Adesanya is just gonna run him over. And I do believe so. I do believe that Paulo Costa is just gonna be, like I said, too vulnerable. I don't see him being able to get past Israel Adesanya and just rush through him with his brute strength like he usually does. Now, that works against a lot of opponents. As we see, Paulo Costa being undefeated. But Israel Adesanya, I think, is just a little too smart for this. Like I said, he's too technical. He's too fast. He's going to be able to catch Paulo Costa, and I do believe that he will finish Paulo Costa. I believe Costa will probably be stopped somewhere around round 2, round 3. And and we're looking at a finish. I'm going to see like a TKO finish on Paulo Costa coming from Israel Adesanya. We seen how well Israel Adesanya's question mark kicks are. We seen him in kickboxing. If anybody who followed his career saw them in kickboxing, he has caught so many opponents with that. And I know we didn't really see it too much in MMA, but it's a totally different sport. So we haven't really seen him bring that too much to the UFC. But it's there. It's in his arsenal. It's something that he has caught so many opponents with, has dropped and knocked out many opponents with. So, we know that Israel Adesanya was a kickboxer. He's coming in here. He's just a full, well-rounded mixed martial artist. And he's in there, and it's like he has fun with it. Like he's just dancing in there with you and just making it look so simple, so easy. We also have to give credit to Israel Adesanya's endurance, the way that his cardio is. He does not gas out. We saw him against 5 rounds against Kevin Gastelum for the interim strap, and he was actually able to drop Kevin Gastelum in round 5. How many fighters can you see that actually hurt Kevin Gastelum at all, period, earlier in fights where you have all your strength, you have all your stamina, you have all your cardio, and weren't able to drop Kevin Gastelum, will actually be able to catch him significantly, but then, let alone drop him. And Israel Adesanya was able to do that in round 5. So you have to give him credit for his cardio, the way he's able to stay in there. But now Paulo Costa, we do understand that he pressures you. He just he ends up walking you down. He can walk you down. The only thing is, I don't see Israel Adesanya being held up against the cage, getting caught with strikes from Paulo Costa. Israel Adesanya is not going to be that fighter that's just going to stand there up against the cage and get caught against Paulo Costa's power shots. I don't see that happening. I see them dancing in the center of the octagon. I see Israel Adesanya going in there looking like he's ready to dance, have fun, and I see him having his way with Paulo Costa. I don't see Paulo Costa getting it done. I think it's just going to be another win, another head on Israel Adesanya's shelf of everybody who he's taken. So I do believe that Israel Adesanya will get this done. I see it as a round 2 or round 3 TKO being done by Israel Adesanya. I really want to know what you guys think. Who do you really think is going to win in this fight? How you really think they're going to win? I really want to see your comments. Make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see all you guys in the next one.